Hello, how are you? It's been a few months. I've had some blood tests done, so let's get into it. Right, so just to paint the picture for you, back in 2016 I decided to get my bloods tested because I couldn't lose weight. It wasn't that I was like obese or like hugely overweight or anything, but I wanted to lose about a stone. I was just uncomfortable with myself, my body, my belly, and I just couldn't shift it. And I was working out like 5 or 6 times a week. You know, I had tried a lot of different things consistently. I had tried eating clean, broccoli, chicken and rice 3 times a day, porridge in the morning, whatever, that kind of jazz. I had tried if it fits your macros. I tried a lot of different stuff, and I did try them for a significant amount of time, like 8 to 12 weeks, and it was just so difficult for me to lose weight, and I didn't understand why. So I went to the doctor and I was like, we're gonna need to do some tests here. I need to figure out, am I celiac, am I lactose intolerant, do I have a thyroid issue, like what is going on that I can't just shift a few pounds. It just was wrecking my head. And so I had my bloods tested in 2016, July 2016 to be precise, and it came back with high testosterone levels. So the range I should have had was between 0.4 to 2.0 nanomoles per litre. I hope I'm pronouncing that word right. I've never come across it before. I was supposed to be between 0.4 to 2.0. And I came back with 2.5, so a good bit higher than it should be. Now, my doctor rang me after these came in and just essentially said to me over the phone, like, you have PCOS, don't worry about it. 1 in 10 Irish women have it, not a big deal, it's grand. And for me, I mean, it was grand because PCOS is kind of a spectrum, and at one end of the spectrum is people that may get like a small bit of acne and hold a bit of weight or something like that, but at the other end are women that may be having huge like infertility issues or maybe obese and trying to shift the weight is near impossible. Like, it's essentially, yeah, it's a spectrum, and there's a lot of different symptoms falling under the umbrella of PCOS. The ways that would indicate that you have it would be like a presence of male hormones and like high levels of testosterone. There's some other bits and pieces in the bloods, like a ratio between your LH and FSH. You can also get an ultrasound and it might show up with multiple cysts on your ovaries, things like that. Future Liz here just wanted to say that I am not medically trained whatsoever. These are just things that I've either learned from my doctor, from him telling me these things, or from doing my own research on PCOS online. So just bear that in mind. So for me, it was like, my skin isn't great. It's not the worst, but at that time I definitely did have a lot more acne than I do now, and at that time I wasn't able to shift weight. So when he told me I had PCOS, I felt a bit defeated because I was like, oh, that makes sense. So I've been working out and eating like well this whole time, not being able to shift any weight, and it's because of this. It's because of the high testosterone levels. It's because of whatever's going on in my body. I can't do anything about it. Like, there was no offer of here's what you should do to maybe help the situation, or you know, that might help you lose weight. And so fast forwarding into 2020, when the pandemic hit and I started looking into keto, like a few of my family members had been on the keto diet and saw great benefits from it. And for me, I started looking into it, and then all of a sudden came across some PCOS videos. So women that would have had weight issues or infertility issues went on the keto diet and were able to shift the weight and were able to conceive. I was already planning on doing the diet, but when I saw these videos I was like, feck it, like, I'm on it, let's give this a go. And so then fast forwarding now into 2021, in August, the end of August, I decided, you know what, maybe I should just get tested, get my bloods tested again, see what the crack is, see has anything changed for the better, for the worse, whatever, just see how we're getting on. Because at this point I don't want to say that I've been keto this whole time. I've definitely been in ketosis and followed strictly the keto diet of 70% fat, 25% protein, 5% carbs for an extended period of time, like a long time. But in between that, there are periods of time where I'm just eating fats and proteins. I'm not really adhering to what would get me into ketosis. I'm just avoiding sugar, carbs. Like, it's not part of my diet anymore. That being said, December is an absolute write-off. You cannot expect me to go through December without tasting like a gingerbread latte or a mince pie. It's just not going to happen, right? So December last year was the same as well. You know, you just do the dog at Christmas. It's just what's done, and I don't want to hear any more about it. But essentially, yeah, the majority of my time I am eating just fats and proteins, and here or there would be a brownie or a cocktail or whatever. But my diet has changed significantly over the past almost 2 years now from what it was in 2016. And so if you follow me on YouTube or on Instagram, you've probably seen that I have dropped a significant amount of weight. I've dropped a stone and some. And yeah, my skin has cleared up quite well. I definitely do still get spots, but not to the extent that I used to back then. As far as my blood test results go, let me just get them. So now in 2021, the range has kind of tightened up a bit, and it has 0.48 to 1.85 nanomoles per litre is what I should have been, the range that I should have been within when testing this time around. And my testosterone came in at 1.63. So my change of diet brought my testosterone levels from a 2.5 down to 1.63, making it average for me, like within the range that I need to be in, which I thought was pretty cool, if I may say so myself. I was pretty chuffed with it, and for some reason the first time I got tested I only got like 2 pages of information, whereas this time I got 7 pages. Kind of annoying because I'd like to have a lot more bits and pieces to compare, to share with you guys, but overall the doctor that I have, he has a lot of that stuff on the system that wouldn't have been in those pages at the time, and he said everything has improved or changed for the better. Of course, when I mentioned how I achieved this change, I said it to the nurse first who was taking my bloods. She'd never heard of keto, she'd never heard of it in relation to PCOS. She just kind of was like, oh, whatever you're doing anyways, it's working clearly, so like keep doing it, which I kind of thought was bizarre. And then my doctor, I had said that I completely shifted my diet and just kind of removed sugar from it, and his response was, yeah, you know what's great for PCOS is exercise. There was just no comment on the diet. I don't know what it is, like it's never brought up in the doctor's office, in mine anyways. Maybe other people have better experiences. My doctor experiences have been primarily just take birth control, take birth control, take birth control. And then I switched doctor and he is much better. I was just surprised that he didn't have anything to say on the change of nutrition, improving testosterone levels and things like that. I've tried filming this video a few times, but I wanted to go back to the doctor and confirm a few things and just like educate myself a bit more about the topic of PCOS before I put anything out there, because the fact of the matter is there's not a lot of information out there. I don't think a lot of women realise that it is a spectrum, like it mightn't impact your life that much, or it might impact it significantly. It's kind of dependent on the person. But yeah, hopefully this helps anybody who might have PCOS or just hormonal imbalances or issues to do with anything that I've talked about throughout this video, and might consider looking at your diet and making some changes, especially now with the new year coming up, you know, new year, new me, all that kind of jazz kicking in again. If there is anything significant going on with you, like you might suspect PCOS or you've been told you have it, or any kind of thyroid issues, cholesterol issues, like anything that might show up in bloods, in a blood test, I would highly recommend getting a blood test done before you begin your journey, a change of diet, like improving your health. I would recommend getting it done beforehand, so that, like me, you have the comparison then afterwards. Like I'm so happy that I did it back in 2016, because now I can see it's changed for the better and what I'm doing is working for me. If you're able to, I would definitely go to the doctor, get your bloods done, get the tests back, and then begin your journey from there, and you'll have something to compare to in the future, which is very exciting. I am extremely thankful that I found a way now that I can regulate my own hormones and regulate my period and my weight and everything down to my nutrition. So yeah. Anyways, I think I've rambled on quite a bit now, so I just wanted to say I am sorry that I haven't been uploading consistently. I kind of just burnt myself out. I was doing too much at once, and so going forward I do plan on continuing YouTube, but as of now I just don't know how often it's going to be. We're just going to have to see how we go and hopefully find a consistent pattern as we go along. But regardless anyways, I hope you all are having a great festive season. I'll see you soon.